Yes, Triple B. Yes, my first video of the day. But you know what? I've been working on things, man. The merch, which is the biggest pain, man. The Teespring is the wackest interface, and there's something going wrong with their code and generating the prices. You change it and it doesn't generate your price, and sometimes it shows the American price converted into pounds. It's just nonsense. Anyway, forget about that. Yeah, please like, firstly. Yeah, because the haters are around. They're swimming around the Triple B in his community. So please like and subscribe if it's your first time. Yo, so yeah, the Josh Kelly. We had the first press conference for the Josh Kelly Troy Williamson fight, which is a great fight, a great British title fight, a good, what do you call it, trade fight they used to call it, you know. Having said that, Josh Kelly got a bit of, he went to the Olympics. He got a little bit of press, and he was being talked up. He's a pretty boy. He's a good-looking guy. Huh? No homo, obviously, no homo. But yeah, he could be a bit of a star. But he got a setback. He drew against Ray Robinson in America, and he was posing a bit and flashing a bit, which is fine, but you got to be able to back it up. And then he lost to Avanesian, who stopped him, which was a big upset at the time. But everyone realizes Avanesian's quality, and he's fighting what's his face, Crawford now. But yeah. The main thing about it, the good thing about it, is that it's on Channel 5. Yeah, so we get to watch it for free. No BS. And that means also a lot of casual people that wouldn't usually watch much boxing are going to tune in. We'll get a couple of million, I reckon. Yeah. So they had the press conference anyway. I didn't really watch much of it. Most of it seemed to be Kalle, cokehead Kalle, Sauerland, rabbiting on and on. Pulling his weird faces. He's a bit of a. I know this is a character. It's a boring cliche, but I don't know, it's almost like he's acting. He's to go, look, Kalle, pretend to be a bit mad and act like a complete cokehead. Okay, and he's overacting. And he's got this, it's quite weird, him and his brother got this weird sort of slightly Essexy voice with a very small touch of German. I quite like him though. I do quite like him, old Kalle and his Charlie. I don't know if his brother Nisa, I saw him speak actually. He's actually quite charismatic in his own way, but he doesn't seem to be on the yayo, like his bro, but or maybe you could just handle it better. Yeah. So we had Williamson is unbeaten with a draw. Josh Kelly has got one draw and one loss to Avanesian, and Troy Williamson is more experienced. He's had 20 fights total. But I don't know. I think they're portraying this as a sort of a 50-50 fight. Yeah, I think that's a bit of hype, really, a bit of misplaced hype. I tend to think that Kelly is a level above him. He just unfortunately, I think he took his eye a bit off the ball. Yeah, and he started constantly being too flashy. He thought he would be next big name. He drew against Robinson. Robinson is a decent fighter at his level, which is a gatekeeper type level, but you would say he's borderline world class. So that isn't the worst. And then he lost against Avanesian, and he got stopped, and it was a big upset at the time. Afterwards, everyone was like, "Oh no, it wasn't really an upset," but at the time it was a big upset. And I remember thinking Avanesian had a good chance. I don't think I put any money on. I can't remember. It's too long ago, but I wasn't super surprised. I think I don't remember saying, maybe it might have been on the old channel, I think they're underestimating Avanesian, but whatever. The thing I would say though, people, it'd be that classic, they love cliches on TV and in life, they'll be like, oh, maybe that loss actually did him more good than harm in the end, because now, there's a benefit in hindsight, because now, the word was he was taking it a bit, he wasn't training hard enough, and he was, loving himself too much, and trying to be a bit flashy, and this made him kind of get the steel back in his game. But I don't know, man. He should have learned that in the Ray Robinson fight anyway, because he was like, okay, I got a draw in America, and I could have really shined in the States. I got to take it more serious. But That's the narrative they're rolling out. Another cliche. That's the narrative. You never hear that word, would you, before? The narrative, this, the narrative that. You always get these words and people talk about it all the time, like clout. And then everyone's talking about clout on the internet. He's going for clout. People just repeat the nonsense that anyone else speaks. No one seems to have. Oh, well, plenty of people do, but I mean, most people don't have any originality in the way they express themselves. Yeah, my dog's snoring. He's happy. Yeah. I sorted out. I got a refund, by the way, a full refund on the vets, like I said. So I wouldn't step back. Yeah? And I knew I was right. You get me? You're talking about my dog. You don't mess with my dog. Anyway, so this fight, I'm really looking forward to it, I mean, I guess it's worth looking at what are the big wins in their record. So you've got boy Troy Williamson. He fights out of Darlington in Durham. Yeah, Troy Williamson, he's one of them guys that just looks tough, his face like. Them mixed race guys, mixed white and black guys, they usually have one of two looks, man. Yeah? They either look real tough like Troy Williamson and what's that? Was that Battyman's friend? Sonny Edwards' friend. Lyndon Arthur. He's another one that looks tough, don't he? Or they look like Battyman's, like the YB, real soft and camp, mixed race guys like the YB. James DeGale looks a bit camp. David Hay looks a bit of a pretty boy, and he's admitted he's into Batty business. Who's the other one? Robin Reed. Yeah, them sort of pretty mixed race guys. Obviously, the YB ain't pretty. He's a manlet, a chinlet. He looks like a pure bottom. But yeah, Troy Williams is definitely one of them tough looking mixed race guys. He is. Let me see. Ted Cheeseman, of course. Yeah, he stopped Ted Cheeseman. As I remember, he got very badly hurt himself, and that was a real war. It's like another one of those fights where you're like, blood clot. Boxing can be really tough, man. That would have taken a bit of time off each fella's boxing career, and probably, I'm sorry, no one likes to talk about it, but a lifetime, that will leave some damage, unfortunately. Everyone got to be realistic about boxing, what boxing is about. And it's very dangerous, man. So is MMA. They're the two, they don't really sports them two, It's more than a sport, really, isn't it? Anyway, who else has he beat? This Kieran Smith, he stopped. He was unbeaten at the time, Harry Scarf is all right fighter, he drew against Jack Flatley. So, Jack Flatley isn't bad, but, he's had a few losses himself. Tele Haraga, Nathan Haney, and Harry Scarf, who Troy Williamson beat. But Williamson's got a record of solid guys and beating them apart from old Jack Flatley. Jack Flatley, I think I remember watching him. He's quite a neat boxer, right? Josh Kelly's regarded as a boxer here. And what's his face? Williamson is the puncher. If you look at Josh Kelly's record, right? So he's got, out of 14 fights, he's only got 7 KOs, right? So, I don't think that means he doesn't punch. I think he's a stiff enough puncher, but he's definitely got the better boxing skills. I would, what I'm going for? I think it will be a tough fight. I do think Josh Kelly is a level above, despite the fact that he got stopped by Venetian Andrew Robinson. I think Robinson's better than Jack Flatley or the guy that Williamson drew with. You can't always do these facile comparisons. Oh, he beat that, so that means he's going to beat him, or this kind of nonsense. And you can gain something from comparing records, but the stars make fights. People maybe had a good camp, out a bad camp. All these things, man. All these factors. You got loads of fights when people fight each other, and every scenario is different. And yet, when they fight each other, every scenario is the same. If you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, I remember Williamson getting hurt against Cheeseman, but he's so tough. They carry on going and end up winning it. That was a real good fight, man. That was a real good fight. But as I said, I had a headache just watching that, man. And you just think about them two boys. It's You know, people, you got to admit it to yourself, man. You got to admit it to yourself. You know, you enjoy these kind of fights. You enjoy people getting hurt. All that stuff about, but there's skill in... Yeah, there is skill in boxing, but it's about the row, really. You know, boxing is one of those few sports that you can enter in with no real background to it. And just because you're tough and can punch, you can get far, you know? Whereas no one can just start doing football or tennis tomorrow and then get anywhere, you know, let alone world class. Obviously, there are way more tennis players and football players in the world than boxing, but, you know, I mean, you know, Anthony Mundine just went pro, didn't he? And even Rocky Marciano was 23 when he started boxing, you know. You can never start football at age 23 and get anywhere. You know, it's a different sport, boxing, and MMA for that matter. But, you know, I'm a boxing man first and surely. So, you know, like this fight, I'm thinking that Kelly will use his head, huh? I know he's in against a tough guy who can hit very hard, all right? And he will, I don't say not outclass, because Williamson will always be in it because he can punch pretty solid, right? And you know, he's had, 14 wins out of 20 fights inside distance. Although that's also a style, you know, knockout percentage is also to do with style, and Troy Williamson is a come forward type brawler. So I think, but he has, I don't know, he didn't look that great in his last fight. And Mason Cartwright. Yeah, Mason Cartwright was a weird looking guy, didn't he? Didn't he have like he's a ginger guy, but he looked, I don't know, he had these kind of cornrows or something. Quite a weird looking guy. He gave him a tough fight. Tough fight as well, real tough fight. He lost on points, Mason. But I think it was close. I believe Williamson's just too easy to hit, and maybe possibly not busy enough. I think Josh Kelly, again, I'm not talking about outclassing, because if he's got any brain, he'll be careful. Huh? Especially because Williamson's one of them guys that keeps on throwing till late. So, you know, I hate, there's another cliche. When I was watching Kalle, the cokehead, they was going, you know, or someone else, or maybe it was Sam Jones, or someone was saying, he gets stronger as the fight goes on. That's impossible. That's a physical impossibility. What they mean is, you know, they keep going hard, they keep going strong, they don't weaken as much as the other fighter. That's what they mean. I hate these cliches that are wrong, man. You get stronger as the fight goes on. That's impossible. It's not possible, blood. It's against the laws of biology. Yeah? Anyway, that's just a little niggle. So yeah, I see Kelly. I see Kelly on points, is what I see. But I think it will be quite clear. Anyway, at least we get to see a good fight on Channel 5. Peace.